Hello.
Oh, hi.
How are you?
I'm doing
Uh,
fabulous.
yes, welcome, welcome, welcome. So, my name is Kristen Gutierrez. I am the host of the Confident Leadership series, and I'm a keynote speaker. I am a best-selling author. Oh, there it is. Yeah, I love helping people take action and get out of their own damn way somewhere along the way our paths have crossed, and I am so grateful for you, my friend. So Jen Alvin is here to just riff with me about regrouping after life throws you a lot of chaos. And Jen, why don't you introduce yourself to us? Yeah.
Sure. So, hi, I am Jen Alvin. I am an artist. I think artist first and foremost, but also I'm a technology geek. I focus in localization. I'm the founder of Be Global, Think Local, just helping companies to bridge the gap between their technology teams and making a splash in their new in the markets that they want to hit. I'm not exactly sure, Kristen, how we met up. I believe I went to one of your seminars. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is a woman who I really want to get to know better. She's very inspiring. Talking about getting out of your own way. I've had a few moments this week. I'm like, what would Kristen say? What would Kristen do? Oh, right, get out of my own damn way.
I love that. Thanks. I'm humbled, really, but yeah. Well, this is so exciting because listen, life throws us chaos like every day of the week, right? And I know we didn't have much time to prep beforehand, and this is why I love these series. But tell us what's on your list of like things that you want to get off your chest today, and we'll just peel back the layer one piece at a time.
Sure. As you and I have talked about a little bit, this has been my year of chaos. It has been, there was a relationship that ended. One of my jobs, like became unemployed. I am having some really fun financial challenges. And yes, and I lost my father. I'm like, okay, what things can we pile on top of that? Just going through the mourning period, mourning of a lot of things.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
have read every self-help book, podcast, you name it, just as, like background information. And I've been thinking a lot about, how do I create a persona that allows me to be present and to look like I know what the heck I'm doing and talking about. And as I'm doing that, it's like, oh, wait a minute, I actually do know a handful of things.
you know a ton of things. In fact, that is a line I am using in my upcoming keynote in May or in March in Lima, which is I read a ton of self-help books in
Mhm.
order to figure out how to get out of my own way. And
Yeah.
so, as it kind of always happens when I talk with Jen, like behind closed doors, like I just had, you could be a keynote speaker, Jen. Like you have so much to give. I enjoy our conversation so much, the artistic side of your brain and how you talk with us a little, like tell us what else is on your agenda, because I just want to say, like, I had this aha moment right now where, I think we sell ourselves short, but you have a gift and you're doing the work, and that's what sets you apart from others.
Thank you. Let's see. So one of the things that I've been working on is a book called, Stronger, Wiser, and Still Fabulous. Yeah. As I've been, kind of thinking, kind of looking back at my year of chaos, one of the things that really helps to ground me, I like to color, I like to draw, and bringing in, there's a lot of good self-help exercises where, it's really kind of boring. Like, oh, here, fill out this little thing. And I'm like, wait a minute, how can I make this better? How can I bring, my perspective to the table, because I have lived through all of the chaos. So I've always considered myself to be a plucky princess who gets along with a little bit help from her woodland friends. I'm like, okay, how do I bring that into a book where, who's it, Robin Roberts said, make your mess your message.
Yes.
So another thing sticking in my head, I'm like, okay, here, how do I collect all the things that would help me? And, in the hopes of helping other people.
Yes, 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 yes. Because we've talked, you've been in my book master class, like how to write a best-selling book, and I've been
Yep.
working with you behind the scenes on it, and I can't wait to like have you start advertising it so the world can download like a coloring worksheet or something ahead of time.
Yep.
But it is truly like when I wrote Be a Better Sales Leader, I got promoted without an instruction book. And I mean, it's so common, right? But I had to learn to fail forward, ask for help, and like grow, find resources in order to keep growing. Those were like the three pillars of the book. And so the message was if I could help just one other person, then this book will have been worth it. And like with you, I mean, you're already going to help me with your book. So I can't wait. I can't wait. Tell us a little bit more about the book or whatever else, all the
Sure.
chaos.
Yeah, so actually, I'll talk about the book a little bit. Within the book, it's not just writing exercises. There are a couple of them, but any of the writing exercises have a full-on coloring element in it. There are also Mad Lib puzzles. There are
Oh,
there are crosswords. There are word finds. There are word jumbles. I wanted to throw it together in a way that's like, okay, I feel like coloring today. All right, I'm just going to, color the pages. Or, I want something a little more challenging. I'm going to try a crossword puzzle. I wanted to put all of those things into a book together so it's not just like most when I was doing my market research, there's and stuff that friends have given me. It's like I don't need another coloring book that says "fuck yeah," and I color those words. It's like you can do better than that. I
oh, I love
believe
it.
that I believe that women need something stronger and just more constructive than just coloring profane words.
Yes, yeah. I thought I thought you were gonna say something else, and I was gonna say guilty, of, like, death by worksheets, right? But, like,
Right.
nonetheless, like, I have seen this is me, death by worksheets. I have seen, like, the draft of what you're creating, and it's going to be amazing. It really is. Okay, what else? Because I know when we were prepping or when we spoke for 30 seconds before we went live,
Sure.
you're like, "I have a laundry list of things." So I love it. It's the Jen show.
Yeah.
Tell us.
Yeah, Jen Show. One thing that's also come up for me over the last year is, finding my people. There was a person who was, part of my life, and it's like I don't have that one person anymore. I now have a lot of people. My sister, love her, love her, love her. She and I are, kind of been joking that we are each other's life partners now, which is actually true. We are not romantic partners, but like she and her husband split up a couple of years ago. And so she and I both have that in common. And like we'll go she's like, hey, let's go grocery shopping together. Oh, I need this other thing. If I need someone to call in the middle of the night, I have that life partner. But I also have a lot of other, it's like coaches and mentors and other people who are they are my people.
I
I
love
spend
that. I'm like
Yeah.
thinking of my sisters, both of my sisters, and they are happily married and or remarried and live so far away. And I'm like, that sounds amazing. That sounds
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, the funny thing is, she's an early bird and I am not. So if you've seen, emails or messages from me at like 1 a.m., I really am up that that late. And she gets up at like 6 a.m. and she'll try to call me. She's like, hey, I want to go estate sailing this morning. And yeah, I might pick up the phone much later than that.
Oh yeah, that's my cup of tea. 6 a.m. I'm
Yeah.
here for it.
Yeah, not so much mine.
Okay, so
It's been, yeah, it's so one of the things that I do that I love to do is I have a daily journal. It really kind of helps me to ground. One of the things that, towards the end of it is, what am I grateful for? It's what am I saying yes to? What am I saying no to? What did I
yeah,
accomplish yesterday? It is my morning thing, so I have to actually struggle to think, okay, what did I accomplish yesterday? And then also, what am I grateful for? There's also a
yeah,
bit in there, also depending on the day. It's like, what's my why? Why am I doing this? With the book, I want to provide a resource that other, other women would, find useful. Just, give them something kind of fun, and lightweight to go after. I'm looking, all the books, on my bookshelves. there isn't anything like this, and I wanted to create something that I have not seen in the market, but I believe should be there.
Yes. Yes. I mean, there are so many things right there I wanted to talk about. When is your book coming out?
April. Yeah, right now
What?
right now it's trending towards late April.
Yes.
There's a whole
So
string of
spring.
reasons.
Spring.
I am primarily doing my own artwork, and
Yeah.
it's taking a little bit longer than I expected. I'm getting reacquainted with Illustrator, reacquainted with InDesign. I'm really happy with it. But this will also tie back to how do I get out of my own way?
Yes. Yes. If you
Yeah.
have the skill set for that, it would be a shame to outsource that because it would cost money and you would spend just as much time trying to explain your vision to somebody else as you are now relearning a skill set that you had. Right.
Mhm.
So, I mean, this is amazing. Um, okay. Yes, Jen. Yeah. All the things to Jess. How are you out there right now monetizing? How can we help you? How can my community stand up and say we need Jen's help? Or how can your community who doesn't know what you do? What are the things that you're doing to make money to help others right now?
Okay. So the website is up. I will share the URL. Actually, I think you have the URL, but I'll reshare it with you so that way you've got it. There's an email list that you
Well, can we
can.
all have it? Can you say it?
Yes. Yeah. Sorry. So strongerwiserfabulous.com.
Oh, I'm going there.
Yeah, it's a resilient. I call it an activity book for resilient women who like to color outside.
Yes. This is amazing. Oh my goodness. What? This is amazing. Okay, listen, if you're watching the replay, if you're watching live, say book in the comments and Jen will make sure to reach out with you and or she will we've got to hyperlink this website. This is amazing. What did you just finish this? This is amazing.
Thank you. Yes, I did.
Okay.
Yeah, I went in because I needed to connect in some of the email newsletter pieces, and I'm like, I don't like how this website looks. I don't like how this website feels. I'm going to put my own, spin on it. This is where you find the fine balance between getting out of, your own way and how do I make sure that my voice and my vision is accurately represented.
Yes. Yes. And I've just subscribed to get a sneak peek.
Yay!
Yes. Oh my gosh. This book
Yeah,
is going to be amazing. I would love to continue to support you on the journey of launching this in the spring, we'll
in
say,
the
right?
spring. We'll say
To
in the
alleviate
spring.
the pressure, because you're doing all of your own artwork and because the artwork is such a critical component to your book. Again, and it's a skill that you have, yeah, it does make a lot of sense.
Yeah, I don't know. It's been really fun to figure out how to create crossword puzzles, how to, draw mazes, doing all of these things, from scratch, doing the circle word things. So not only am I working on the subject matter content, but also how do I design the puzzles? I'm like, these are marketable skills if I decide to shift away from technology, which I really love. I love technology. I'm actually really excited that there's a webinar that I'm going to be part of, and I think it's a week and a half. I don't remember the exact date, but it is about reaching a global audience and how do you, adapt your experiences. I'm working with Localize, and I
Yeah.
am one. There's several of us who are all going to be part of this. Drawing back to, I know more than I think I know. We were having one of the pre sessions for it, and I mentioned a few things, and then one of the other presenters mentioned a few things, and in the back of my head, I'm like typing in the chat. I'm like, oh, I could talk about this thing too. And then the engineer came in. He's like, oh, what about these things? I'm like, shoot, okay. With my engineer saying, here, these are the topics I want to talk about, and I'm like, oh my gosh, we have half an hour slated for this talk, and I'm like, I could be talking probably at least for 2 hours about localization, internationalization, and globalization. It's so within be global, think local. It's not just translations. It's how do you connect personally with an audience? Because when people pick up an app, they're not going to be thinking, oh, well, company X decided, that's probably a bad thing to say. Anyway, this company decided that they are targeting, I can't use that anymore. So this company is trying to target all of the United States or all of, China. It's like, I want it to look like it was designed for me from someone in my neighborhood, so in my city, someone who really intimately knows not just what my world looks like, but also what, no, are they, what do I like? What am I interested in? What does that look like? So those are some of the things that I do within Be Global, Think Local.
Let me ask you a controversial question. And I'm going to preface it with like, I don't want to stay stuck here. Like, there's so many other things I want to talk about. I'm just dying to know, because of what you just said, is your opinion that companies should create a product in English and truly then do all the work to localize it? Or should they create the product in English and then recreate it in the other market? I mean, that might be really complicated. And so that might be the answer. And I have my own answer, but yeah, you're really an expert in this wedge here of where you can advise clients and companies. So this will be good anyway for you to answer. What's your brain say?
It depends.
Okay.
No, yeah, that's really, it's kind of a weird answer. It honestly, it depends. It's like, how do you want to try to reach your audience? How much, is it worth it to you and to your company in order to reach these people? Is broad strokes, is that good enough? Or do you need to really, like, is that customer so valuable that it needs to be really bespoke?
Yeah.
So it depends. What's the message you're trying to get across? How, fine-tuned is, do you need to be in order to reach that audience?
Well, there isn't a one size fits all. So I love that answer, actually.
Yeah, absolutely not. And then you can kind of go into the other side of it, which is operationally, what can you sustain?
Yeah. Right.
You know,
Right.
yeah. Let's say if you've got a content strategy, it's like, okay, I want to hit all of these markets, and you have an operations team of, maybe two to create the editorial, thinking e-commerce, to do your product assortment, to do all the things. It may not be scalable. This is where you want to really fine tune what markets are, the ones that you really want to hit.
Yep. Okay,
So it
cool. I love
depends.
it. I mean, I love it. Yes, of course, right? English as the source. So
Sometimes.
coming back, but not always,
Yeah.
to your website, your book launch, right? So strongerwiserfabulous.com, right? To sign up for some free giveaways. And it's just so like multifaceted, right? Like so many of us. I could coach on sales. I could coach on leadership. I could coach on M&A within our industry. I could coach on getting out of your own way and overcoming imposter syndrome. It's not about me, but like, it's truly, there's so many different levers and prongs, right? In the interest of time, and to kind of take me to my last point, tell us, what are all of these, because you've hit on some of them throughout. What are all of these things that you could do? You can do. You're so smart, right? Well, like what are all of the areas that your expertise? Because you can bridge the gap. What you're doing the book, you're helping women with the book, you're doing consulting work, right? What does some of that look like?
It's a little bit of a lot of things, and it's interesting. So with your work, where you are doing, keynote speaking and coaching, yours seem to have kind of a little more of a, maybe not like for like, but they're related. And the thing that I struggle with a lot is the things that I believe I'm really good at are, they're a bit disparate. I have, my artwork. I'm, working on, coaching, empowering, lifting people up. And then on the other side, I'm like, oh, well, I want to talk about technology with you and helping you to fine tune your digital space so you can reach an audience. And to me, they still feel sort of disparate. And then there's also the other piece that, kind of you know, helps keep me, occupied and out of trouble. I have two spinning wheels over there. I've got a serger over there. I have a greyhound actually who's down
You
there.
have
That's my phone.
2 spinning wheels in your house. I'm
I have
so
two spinning in my house
jealous.
and a dry carter.
Where do you take your clay to be Do you have a kiln?
Oh, no, sorry, spinning wheel is, and I make yarn.
Oh, okay, okay. I thought you meant like
Yeah,
ceramic. That's my
yeah,
love
no,
language.
no, not quite. No, no, no. I mostly it's fiber art, so I make
Okay.
yarn. I learned needle punching at a recent event, so I'm doing this. I'm using all the homespun yarn, and I'm making this epic rug. It's going to be gorgeous.
Oh, cool. Yeah. I mean, it is as we're learning how to monetize. I mean, as we're learning to be fulfilled by
Mhm.
sharing our expertise in the world with the world. It is a process to say, like, what makes me so happy to get out of bed every day and not feel like work, balanced with I lost my job. I have small kids. I literally have no money. Like, how do I monetize ASAP the skill set? Which is why I leaned into selling because I was a sales leader. But the joke is, I was fired as a VP of sales, yet still released be a better sales leader, right?
Yeah.
Because that's where you really have to take what happens to you and turn it into what happens for you. That's a whole nother talk. But
Yep.
with you, it's like, it really is figuring out the balance and in the middle there, right? In the middle will be this thing because minus the yarn and the spinning stuff that you said at the end, what I heard was there's coaching individuals. So typically this stronger, wiser, fabulous stuff will be like my growth and fulfillment community where I'm helping individuals. They undoubtedly have jobs in corporations, sometimes in our industry, but they're spending their own money to invest to be within the community. And then you've got this technology thing where it's more like, again, they're individuals, but they represent heads of product teams at LSPs or vendors, right? Like MT companies or language service providers and clients who might need to bring you in. So it's like helping clients over here and then helping individuals over here, and then sprinkling in all your artistic stuff in the
Yeah.
background.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at all the websites, it's like it really, it has, my flair, my spin. When it all comes together, whether I am, writing the book, working with, uh, my consulting thing, it's all about how do I empower, how do I set you up for success, how do I set teams up for success, how do I set a project up for success. That's really top of mind in all the things that I do. How do I set things up for success?
Yes, there it is. There it is. I love it. Like it's like your umbrella, right? And then so many things. How do I inspire others to take massive amounts of action, to get out of their own way? And had I lost my job and leaned into that first, I thought it was about income, impact and outcome. So I hadn't actually even defined the real thing yet, but I would have struggled to monetize that. I needed projects and programs on the ground to prove that my actionable strategies could help sales teams get out of their own way and take action, help individuals get out of their own way and take action. So
Yeah.
I love that. So it's about empowering people, maybe even women, but like empowering people and teams. Um, I love that, Jen. Any closing thoughts from you? Anything else you wanted to share?
I'm excited about this discussion. I'm excited about, just meeting you. I'm excited to share, what I have, with the world, whether it's the book, the consulting.
Yeah.
Everything comes down to I'm grateful.
Yes.
I'm grateful every day.
Awesome. Well, we are grateful to have you. Thank you so much for being a stronger, wiser, fabulous guest on the Confident Leadership series. Stay tuned next week for an International Women's Day special edition. But thank you so much, Jen. Have a wonderful day.
Cool. Preston, thank you so much.